India Startup Festival. We are celebrating this festival because a lot of startups are really doing very well in the country. Our startup count with Startup India is already crossed, I was told, 1 lakh startups in the country. So that's one moment of celebration. The other important celebration point is we had a similar event in Bangalore about 3 weeks back. It was also curtain raiser. We thought that Bangalore will get more number of startups, more number of investors and mentors. But there the count of mentors and investors were around 50. Thanks to some of our VCs like VLK, they traveled all the way from Hyderabad to come to Bangalore. And number of startups registered and participated was around 500. We thought in Hyderabad, Bangalore itself, which is the capital of India startup community, his numbers are like that. So here probably 50% we imagine in terms of the investors as well as the startups. That's why when I approached our MSR Garu, who is the CEO for T-Hub, to show us a hall which can accommodate around that number. Now problem is we have to reject a lot of registrations who registered after the count has gone beyond 1,000. I don't know how many people are staying outside. This shows that Hyderabad is really a big competitor for Bangalore, even in the startup world. Earlier I was thinking that Bangalore is number 1, Hyderabad maybe number 2 or 3. Looks like I think with the support from the Telangana government and also infrastructure like T-Hub and all the people, investors and mentors in Hyderabad, I think we made Hyderabad is also one of the destinations for the startup companies to survive and succeed. That's another reason why we had to celebrate today. The reason why we had this journey, India Startup Foundation, we are also like startup. In fact, we are much worse than many early stage startups. We are just 8 months old. We thought about this about 8 months back. The reason is when I saw the kind of disturbing news, like ChatGPT is coming over, quantum computing is coming, a lot of things in the technological tsunamis are coming. I was just imagining, what if whatever they are saying, if that happens, will the number of jobs in the cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, wherever the IT companies are recruiting, already recruited, if the generic programming jobs, testing jobs, all those things are automated, what will happen to India? Because India, with the density of population, what we have, the youth are not properly advised and they are not properly taken care of. And that youth becomes unemployed youth. In addition to that, existing employees from the industry, they are also moved out because of the layoffs or whatever. It could be a recession problem, or it could be ChatGPT kind of AI tools problem, whatever it is. What will happen to us? See, this youth, I have seen when I was studying in IIT Madras, there were hardly any jobs in India. There were only few IITs were there and few engineering colleges. Even for them, there were no jobs. Thanks to IT industry, we have created, whether it's a mechanical diploma or metallurgical diploma, everybody, we were able to take it. And really, I mean, all this 20-25 years, IT industry really took care of the Indian youth, taking them and pushing them to US and various other countries. All that was a good run rate we had. So what I thought is, if that really happens, అంటే తెలుగులో సామెత ఉంది, కీడెంచి మేలించమంటారు. So that may not happen or may happen, we don't know. But imagine that's happening. What will happen to India? The so-called Amrut Kal, $1 trillion economy. So all today, majority of it is IT-driven economy. because we are able to recruit millions of people, good salaries and all that. They are spending money, consumerism increasing, everything is going good. Today, just for sake of imagination, say IT industry in Hyderabad is not there. Just imagine what will happen, how many families will get impacted. So that is the kind of fear I had, and I thought, why don't we look at what are the solutions? So I thought, if only we can really help the startup community. In India, a lot of, by then, a lot of people are already getting into the startups. Some startups got into unicorn, and some may be getting into decacorn kind of a thing. So I thought the startups won't be working in yesterday's technology. Most of the startups, they have to get funding, they have to survive, they have to obviously work in tomorrow's technology, and obviously they have to work in an innovative way. Then only any investors will put money into those startups. Whether they have to train the manpower and all that, that's a secondary thing. But for them to really succeed as a startup, they have to think differently, because they have to compete with a global startup community. Not that one startup in Hyderabad, if he thinks that, no, my competition is only in Hyderabad, I don't think he can survive like that. Any startup, they have to think competition is global. When they are thinking competition is global, naturally they will come out with the innovative idea, innovative business processes and new technologies. Then only they will get funded, then only they will get the business, and they will survive and succeed. When they succeed, obviously they will need some manpower, and also they create wealth for the nation. So jobs for the nation, wealth for the nation. These two are the fundamental things which I thought, by supporting the startup ecosystem, by bringing them together and connecting them to all the investors, mentors, and market leaders who can actually provide the business to them. Because many of the startup community, I myself have gone through 2 startup companies. So initial days, very difficult to get, even nobody recognizes you. So when nobody is recognizing, who will give business to you, who will give funding? So that's when I thought that people like us, in fact, I was telling my friend Ranjan Chek, he wanted to take retirement. I said, boss, this is not the time for us to retire, and this is the time for us to really go full, full energy to see how we can connect with our network, so that these startups will be benefited. So I was also telling him how Abdul Kalam led his journey. Till the last breath, he was doing something, and he collapsed somewhere in one of the northeastern states by giving a lecture to some students. I think all the invited guests today think that it is our responsibility. When India is going through this transition time, when all the good things or bad things, whatever is happening, I think our important thing is, very, very important thing is, we need to see how the job creation engine do not slow down. The moment it slows down, it will have a lot of other our democratic system, everybody, they will try to take advantage of those unemployed youth, ask them to come for meetings, and all those things will happen. But what will happen to the, if suppose rail rokos, rasta rokos, bus rokos, auto rokos is happening, even the existing companies also, oh, what is this, lot of disturbances, they will also start looking at other places. So it's very important. In fact, I was talking to one of the people sitting on the dais. He was also telling, we are not creating even the manpower required for the startups. Human capital, all our BTechs, universities and all that, they are in still industry 1.0. They are not even talking about industry 4.1 or 5.0 already has come. So how do we create the human capital? Otherwise, what will happen? The startups who have started here, there is no manpower. VLK was telling another day in the ICF meeting, the depth of the distance. That's a very good example. When there is a depth of the distance, why the startups will give jobs to somebody who does not know quantum computing, who does not know some of the algorithms which are required to be developed? He will always, suppose they find somebody in Czechoslovakia or Poland or with PhDs in mathematics, because of the depth of the distance, he will not have to come, but he will outsource that work to him and get that work done for his startup. Because startup, they have to come with a product or whatever solution better than his competition. He can't, no, I am not having manpower here, I have to train, I'll start after 1 year and all that. That was the main intention why I thought of creating a foundation. Fortunately, this foundation is owned by all the volunteers. They are all successful entrepreneurs. They're all CXOs from large companies and small companies. Nobody owns this foundation. Like any startup company, this foundation do not have any money. And in fact, when we started our first festival in October 22 last year, there was no money in the foundation and we were not having any website, no domain names of the conference, but still we ran that ISF 22 conference in Bangalore and Mudanhalli, like all the who's and who's from the investment community, CEOs and large MNC heads of India like HSBC and all these companies, all their India heads were here, including Ramesh Kaza and Satish Chandra, all these people who are sitting on the dais, VLK, they were all there supporting the startups. And we received about 2,500 startups for the startup competition that time. And out of that, we selected about 18. See, normally what happens is any conference, after the conference, they don't really bother about those companies. So what we have done differently, soon after the conference is over, I told all the people who are there in our committees, no, don't log off from your committees. We are converting the same committee as the mentor committee. So the mentorship started within 2-3 weeks from the conference, 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks from the conference is over, our weekly, every Saturday, 10:30 to 11:30, 1 hour, 200 mentors, every company who are selected in the 18 members list, they used to come and pitch their this thing, and we used to solve whether it's a funding issue or a technology issue or market access issue, whatever the issues they presented. In fact, some of them who got benefited by our startup festival activities, ISF, they're all here. Probably maybe one minute they can say what they got out of ISF 22. Maybe Ramana, starting from you.
Good morning, one and all. I have been this team. I'll highlight the salient points which were very impactful for us. As any startup founder, you would find yourself on a very lonely journey. And it's very important that it's not just funds that you need. You need that constant backing, constant push. And that's what we received from our mentors there, especially OSS Prasad Garu, who has been here. He has been instrumental, thank you sir, he has been instrumental in making us rethink our own goals, reset our own targets. And this is possible because the mentors whom we have here, they have not only traveled this journey a few more steps than us, but also have successfully built businesses. It is not that they have failed. They all are successful entrepreneurs and they are sharing their experience apart from running their businesses. So you can see the ones who have absolutely no ulterior motive in your benefit. If they are sharing time and energy with you, that means they are truly involved or truly in sync for your benefit. So I really thank sir for this opportunity.
I ventured into agri-tech company as it have many investors and the greater community to support this. But again, the ISF is the one platform. We have got the all support, not just from India, but across the world, from UK and many other European countries. Thank you.
Mamadipalli, co-founder at Amilio. Amilio is a AI-based, community-powered social networking platform for. Just take 30 seconds to what we are. If you imagine Hyderabad, basically we are Instagram for food. You can imagine TikTok for food. And if you want to imagine Hyderabad to be a micro community for restaurants and foodies, where restaurants can showcase their menus and experiences while the foodies can actually click to a book and tap to order the food. So basically, in a truly connected Amilio world, connections can be made over interest, and food becomes a conduit for social networking. That is the essence of Amilio. But I want to speak about ISF. We are here because of ISF. ISF has been a great platform for us. They opened up global access of investors, mentors. We have been able to close first round of funding. We are recognized by Google now, one of the top 30 AI ML startups in the APAC.
Startup called Hiring Hood. Our journey also started with ISF. We are skeptical who will listen to our stories and all earlier, but luckily because of the ISF event and support from Jay Garu, we pitched our idea in last year and we got good support, mentors from as most of my colleagues have or my friends who are a part of ISF have shared. We have got fantastic support from ISF mentorship team. They gave us leads to the investors and they also have guided us on so many things because they have fantastic experience guiding startups. As some of my colleagues also said, startup journey is a lonely journey, as I rightly agree. And now when we are part of ISF and the Saturday meetings, sir, we always felt we have an army of SMEs with us, which gave us a lot of confidence, and that actually one led to the other. We got a T-Spark award from TSIC and we got selected for the T-Angel program of T-Hub, and we also got some term sheets from some of the investors, and we are looking forward to fundraise, and we also wanted to get some mentors as well to support our organization. And I wish all my fellow startups best of luck for today's event.
One of the premium coffees from India. So quickly, I wanted to go back and thank ISF because we've been working with farmers for about 5.5, 6 years. It's the competitive market of coffee, right? So coffee is the second biggest commodity in the globe. So when we reached out to ISF when it is actually formulating, when JSR said, Ram, I think you need to be part of it. Then I started spending time with the core team to understand how can we really build the brand? How do we really get the network connectivity right? How do we talk about how do we position our organization in the global market? That is when the mentorship has come into picture. And then we started spending time in how do we take this brand to the global level. And today our presence is there in the globe. And one good thing about ISF, which I really appreciate everybody is, every mentor takes the responsibility to add value to the startup ecosystem. It's just not funding. It is just about branding, taking your organization to the next level, where there are challenges on the milestone, how do we bridge that gap? And that's the beauty behind it. I would like to thank ISF team and especially JSF because for the event of 2023, when Sir was traveling across the globe, he said, Ram, I think we need to carry something very, very unique to India, very, very passionate to India. And that's when they've chosen Native Araku coffee, and we've given written gifts to every international delegate, traveled all the way from here to UK and US. And I would like to thank, and that's the first brand which we've got in the global market. Thank you so much, one and all, for the opportunity, sir.